Jon Moxley's been AEW champion 3 different times.
4 if you count his interim run. Blame... You can...
I don't have to blame anybody. I know it's bad. There's nobody to blame when your product's bad.
Oh, there's someone to blame. And his name is...
Go ahead.
CM Punk.
Incorrect.
That was it. It was the nonsense where they put the belt on him, and then he got injured, and then he didn't want to do business, and then Moxley won the belt, and then Punk walked out. Like, it was... In all of that stuff was where Moxley was interim champion, and then champion, and then...
And who runs that company?
Listen,
and that's who's to blame. It always goes to the top. We blame
fair.
Vince for everything bad. We can blame Tony for everything bad over there.
Facts.
What's funny is I just edited the episode where I subtly called out Tony Khan and was just like, why? Who would put the world championship on CM Punk in 2020? Jon Moxley is a 4-time if you count the interim, which they don't. 3-time AEW world champion. CM Punk is a 2-time AEW world champion, and those are the only 2 people that have held that belt multiple times, I believe.
Yeah.
Which you shouldn't have. At this age of that company, there should not be a 3-time champion yet.
Yeah. That's what when I saw Moxley get it a 3rd time, I was like... and this is why I don't watch.
The 3rd time made sense. He should have never had it that interim in that 2nd time. Because I think then having your first ever 2-time champion, because he was also the 2nd ever champion, so like there's a big gap in there. Now, if we want to talk about the quality of this title reign, that's a different story. So we have not an extreme time crunch, but a little time crunch.
What would you need?
Well, you're gonna laugh at me. You have to be done by 3, so we got about 2 hours.
Okay.
Which is plenty of time.
Why? What do we?
You don't have to leave.
You don't have to leave.
Oh,
Raw and SmackDown are overseas, so they start at 3 p.m. and not 8 p.m.
And because Netflix is being Netflix about it, which is good, this is a good version, it's going live at 3 p.m. instead of them doing a tape delay for it. So, Raw starts at 3 tonight, and next week, and the week after? Is it 3 weeks or 2 weeks?
I think it's 2 weeks, but I'm not sure.
I think Raw might be 3 and SmackDown might be 2.
I don't know.
No, maybe SmackDown is 3 and Raw is 2. Because I think they stay. Because I think they do Raw in London, and then they stay the weekend, and they do SmackDown in London, and then they come back. I might be wrong.
Is there anything exciting happening on Raw?
This week?
Yeah.
Not that we know of yet.
Finn Balor and Braun Breaker are going to wrestle.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For the IC title. Gunther might do an open challenge again. Gunther did a really good open challenge. It's funny, right?
Against Jimmy, right?
No. It's funny, right? Because you tell me these things about how, like, you don't watch NXT because of all the reasons you don't watch NXT, which I don't think a lot of your actual reasoning is bad, but you then say one of your things is like, well then, you know, if they come up here and they do something cool, maybe I'll go back and I'll watch them. That happened, but you also don't watch the weekly product, so you haven't seen it. Gunther,
whatever the internet shows me that week.
On SmackDown was in Spain. Gunther made a special appearance.
And Barcelona, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I saw who hit the Sui. Carmelo Hayes hit the Sui. Oh my god, I was like, I love this man. He's one of my new favorite wrestlers. Because he did it in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so here's some sports knowledge that you don't know.
Go ahead. Yeah, drop it.
So, Barcelona has the team, FC Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes hit the Sui, which is Ronaldo's celebration, who is probably Real Madrid's greatest ever player, who has the Madrid-Barcelona rivalry is crazy. So the fact that he just hit that in front of the Barcelona fans is crazy.
So, that's fantastic.
I love that. That's what made me love it. I'm like, oh, I like this guy.
Gunther comes out and is like, I'm the greatest European wrestler of all time. You know, saying all this stuff. And then is like,
okay.
So I went and I found speaking to the Spain crowd, your national hero. And I'm going to bring him out and prove that he isn't shit. And he brings out fucking Axiom, who is one of my favorites in NXT right now, who is from Spain.
Okay.
And they just went ahead and had a 10, 15-minute banger, something like that. Like, really good match. And again, who would have thought the best way to get Gunther's world title reign over was to just have him fucking wrestle?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that he continues this and he does this on every show. We'll see. I don't know.
Probably not.
They're in Brussels, so I don't know who from Brussels to bring out. I don't know.
Brussels is what?
Belgium. Yeah. Oh, Cena's also on tonight. Cena's going to be making his first in-ring appearance since turning heel.
Well, I guess I might stay.
So there's that. There's that too. That's what
I might watch
the IC title match. Hopefully, Gunther gets to do something. The hope is on Friday they're in Italy. And while I appreciate we're bringing out a noted European indie talent, if there was a time to take a break and do something comedic. I would love for them.
I love
the pop for Santino in Italy would be
Santino mispronouncing NXT talents' names was one of my favorite segments I've seen. He's like, Nikolaius. That shit killed me. I love every second of that shit.
Big fan of the pop that he got when he appeared in front of was that Atlanta? Was it an Atlanta crowd? Whatever crowd
Was that
it was.
with the tag teams?
Yeah, when he announced the tag team match.
Yeah.
Which was a banger, by the way.
Yeah,
Hardys versus Fraxium.
Okay, first of all, I watched a little bit, man. Don't judge me.
I was live for that one.
I saw it live.
That's on the itinerary.
cool.
I spent too much money.
She did spend. She bought a belt.
I bought a new belt.
Is that the rainbow belt that I
It
saw?
is.
I was like, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. It's okay. Those rainbow belts were around for way too long, but...
What's wrong with the rainbow belts, man? What, do you hate gay people? What, do you hate Ukraine? What are you, Republican?
First of all, where did Ukraine come from in this discussion?
I don't know. Maybe it just does.
An episode can't go past without Tanner trying to make me racist or...
No, I'm not. I'm just... No, because I'm... That whole thing has enveloped my brain space, and I hate it.
Anyway, welcome to our weekly, not weekly. I stole that from somewhere, but that's fine. Weekly, not weekly show where we talk about whatever, but it ends up being sports. I don't know how it ends up being sports. I'm a massive nerd, and we only talk about football and wrestling.
I brought nerd stuff this week.
Okay,
I don't know if that helps.
I don't even know what I brought this week. I know I bought that we went to New York. And then my apology to Tony Khan. I'm saving my apology for Tony Khan for after I do my roadblock stuff. There's a reason. And it's not really an apology, but it's kind of
I kind of want you to just get to it.
Okay. So I owe an apology for Tony Khan. Not because I think I was out of line, but because my guy is just not any better. So recently, in a previous episode, I came at Tony Khan when he said that Revolution, there could have been any of the last 4 matches could have been main event. And he put the worst one on last. The one with the non-finish that we knew. And I went after him because what? My guy, Triple H, in this case, recently went on an interview, and he was asked about women main eventing PLEs. And he looked at the interview, and he was just like, I just think I want them to deserve it. Motherfucker, you booked the show! You put Solo Sikoa in the main event of SummerSlam. What do you mean deserve it? What do you mean deserve it? Like, Rhea and Liv wasn't the hottest and most built feud going into SummerSlam. And it was main evented by, again, Solo Sikoa before he connected with the audience. Because he then almost immediately connected, which was nice. I don't hate where he's coming from. I hate the tone-deaf way that he answers it. Which is honestly, I would say the same with Tony Khan.
Then what would you rather him said there?
That he is prioritizing story.
What makes money?
He could have been.
I said, like, if you wanted to be an asshole, he can. He could just be like, because women won't sell the way the men will sell. And then we can just be like that. And I'm not even trying to be rude, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, and like that honestly would have been probably the correct answer is, well, we want Cody Rhodes to main event because Cody Rhodes moves merch unlike anyone else on the card, which is true. And I understand that point. You could have answered it with the prioritizing story and storyline moments, which I don't think would have been incorrect, because in that SummerSlam main event was also when Roman Reigns returned, which is probably why it really main evented. And that's why the Bloodline tends to main event every show. Also, here's another just little tidbit for you. The Bloodline have had 6 WrestleMania main events in the last 4 years. Past 2 WrestleManias, they had both main events. And again, it be what it be. I think Rhea is such a big star that it's funny to look at her having not main evented a pay-per-view in the past 2 years and be like, I just think the women need to deserve it. Let's not lie to me now.
You could be a big star and still not be the biggest star, though.
Yeah, but again, Cody wrestled. Solo Sikoa.
I know, but Cody Rhodes is also in the ring. I could make the same. I don't know. You make a similar argument for Rhea against Liv.
Yeah, but when at SummerSlam, which was the first time they faced off when that story was at its peak, when you were also going to do a big storyline moment of Dom turning on Rhea, like... That's the one specifically that rubs me the wrong way. We can look at, like, Bash in Berlin and be like, oh, well, that was also a big match. And I was like, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's the one main event Gunther got. And, like, that makes sense. I might be wrong. Did she main event in Australia against Nia? Do you know?
I have no idea. The only thing I'm going to say is, in reference to SummerSlam, the only thing that I remember happening is Liv and Rhea. I don't remember jack shit about Cody and Solo.
I mean, other than Roman returning, probably.
No.
You don't remember Roman
I don't
returning?
remember Roman returning. No.
I'm going to look this up because I may be incorrect. She may have main evented one show. She may have main evented Elimination Chamber, which would have been the correct call. So I really hope that I find out that I'm incorrect. Okay, she did main event Elimination Chamber, so that's good. That story was not nearly as built as her and Liv, but
Liv and Rhea should have main evented SummerSlam.
yeah.
It was the peak storyline. It was.
That's the one where I could come at and be like, this.
It comes to a point. It comes to a point that it's a business.
Yeah. And two of your top stars main event in your biggest storyline main eventing a show.
Which doesn't sell as much as Cody, Solo, and
Yeah, but Cody's
Roman
Cody's
returning.
still on the card.
And Rhea is still on the card, so you could
Yeah.
argue it the other way, no matter what. I've come around the women's wrestling. I think Rhea's a very good wrestler. I think Liv's a very good wrestler. Well, I'm not a wrestling fanatic, so I don't know. What's the second best spot on a card, other than the main event? Where do you want to be?
Opening.
Either
You want to be first, and that's where they were, correct?
Either opening or penultimate. Rhea's almost always first, yeah.
Yeah.
In these
And
shows.
if there were any place to put her, that's where I'd put her. Because it did. She is right. The most memorable thing I can remember from that night is the Liv and Rhea match because of the Dom turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that I could slightly. I remember Logan versus LA Knight. I thought that was fun too.
I remember
But-
that LA Knight won.
Yeah, I
remember
don't
we were-
remember the match though.
And we were live. I do want to point that out as a little memorable thing for it, is we were there. So there's also things about memorable moments. I'm not that the opinion matters more. I'm more likely to remember stuff from the show because I was there and I remember.
Which
that
is also
LA
my
Knight
point.
won.
I don't
Yeah.
remember anything when we were there.
Which is wild because
Like-
Finn also turns on Damien and Roman returns.
The
and,
only thing I remember
Don't remember
is
that, but-
Dom turning on Rhea and the Liv nonsense.
It was a good show. I don't want to sit here and act like SummerSlam 2024 was a bad show. It was a good show. It had 5 matches, and all the 5 matches were good, even though I can only think of 4 of them.
Don't ask me.
Braun and Sammy, that was the 5th. Braun beat Sammy for the Intercontinental. That's where Braun won the title.
Bronson.
Breaker.
Braun
the
Breaker.
Intercontinental
I
Champion.
It was
said Braun
Sammy.
or Braun.
Just
Because Sammy beat Gunther at Mania, and
Yes.
then Breaker beat Sammy at SummerSlam. That's the lineage of that belt.
do not remember that at all. But okay.
Well, that was a bit of a storyline nonsense because they had Sammy beat Breaker first at Money in the Bank. And then Breaker got to beat him at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I just don't remember that match.
Yeah.
Like one bit. And I
It
feel like
was
I
pretty
would have remembered it.
It was pretty good. It wasn't... There was better stuff on that card.
Where did the 3-way match happen?
Which
with
one?
Sheamus and Gunther. When was that? Was that the Rumble?
Are you talking about Sheamus, Gunther, and Drew?
No, I'm talking about... No, not Gunther, I'm sorry. Sheamus, the fucking little skinny guy I hate.
Ludwig.
Ludwig, yeah.
Oh, that was Survivor Series, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah. War
Okay.
Games. I believe that was
That's what I'm
Survivor
remembering.
Series.
Yeah, I do not remember.
I just want the Donnybrook match.
I do not remember Braun versus Sammy at all.
Yeah, that was at Money in the Bank, and then it was at SummerSlam, and I don't think they did a rematch after that.
Yeah, I don't...
No,
I don't remember Sammy having a
kind of
belt,
fizzled
but
out.
okay.
Yeah, he was Intercontinental Champion from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. He's the one that ended Gunther's Intercontinental title reign. Was there for that one too. I just like bragging. That one is
like
that is a brag. That one is a brag. I was at WrestleMania 40. Yeah.
Right.
Him winning the belt. I don't know. He had a good little reign. He had a good little reign. It wasn't as good as Gunther's for pick your thing. It's obviously better than Breaker's because Breaker just isn't on TV. Sammy continued the Gunther momentum with the belt, just in a Sammy way, in that he defended the belt often. He was on TV every week and he defended the belt at least twice a month, I would say. So, which is what we should be getting from those TV titles, and it's why even though I'm tired of seeing Chelsea Green versus Mitchin, at least we're getting a Chelsea Green women's U.S. title defense often, which
I wish
That's
it
the
was
point of
someone
the
else,
mid-card
but
belts.
Yes.
It'd be nice
Other
to...
than Chelsea Green or other than
No,
Mitchell?
other than Mitchin.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say that. I saw.
nice.
I've seen bits and pieces. I'm like, you're
It
built.
is-
You're built for me, and I don't like you.
Like, some of their matches were good. They've had, like, 5 or 6 of them, which is a lot in a row.
What are we doing?
Like, that's who she beat in the tournament final for the belt. And then defended it against her 4 or 5 times. Most recently being SmackDown in Philly, which was probably, I went back and watched it, was probably their best match
Was it?
in this series.
I like
their
Chelsea.
best match. I think their best match is the dumpster match from like a year
Yeah.
ago. But the street fight was better, probably because it was a street fight.
I like Piper.
And Piper's good.
I love Piper.
Piper's good. I love Chelsea's whole everything with Piper and Alba right now. I
Yeah.
love the Secret Hervis. I love
Secret Hervis is such a cool name.
I love the Slagents. it's so good. I love their stupid press releases that she does. She's defending against Sol Ruca on NXT this Tuesday, and she put out a whole press release and was just like, this decision should be overturned on the ground of I don't want to do it. It's just funny. Piper calls her, is it SOTUS? So champion of the United States. Like how they do POTUS, President of the United States.
Oh, okay.
And it's just funny. It's one of my favorite. She's U.S. champion. They're U.S. champions, so they're president. Like it.
Okay.
And it's something about the commitment.
It was the correct person to do that with.
Yeah, and Piper and Alba in the sparkly suits is just funny.
I love Piper.
That turn is going to be amazing. I think that's how that's going to go.
Oh, what Piper's going to
Piper's going to turn on Chelsea, and that's how Chelsea's going to lose the belt. I just want
You
her.
love Piper?
I want her to have a few more title defenses against a few other credible challengers.
Like
First.
Piper? No.
Piper's how it ends.
I know. I like Piper.
Like now that Zelina's on SmackDown, Zelina
Yes.
would be nice. BFAB is on SmackDown. It'd be nice to get her in it. Like, just give me a few other.
BFAB
title
get her
defenses.
ass beat. I never see BFAB win it.
She,
Either that or she just gets her ass beat for no reason, not even in a match.
she is so underdeveloped in the ring.
Yeah.
She was brought up as a manager, and then it was like how Vince did Lana, where and then
Okay.
it was like, and now you're going to be an in-ring competitor, and we're all like, has she ever wrestled a day in her life? Now, to be fair to BFAB, man, ain't she trying? She trying, like how Maxine is on Raw, like she's trying,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
And they are both progressing.
Yeah, they're
Like,
both
you can
getting better.
Physically see.
Maxine's the one with Otis, right?
Yes.
Otis and Chad, yeah. Or no, Otis and what's it?
Tozawa.
Akira.
Yeah, Kira Tozawa. My bad.
If you want to talk about stuff that I just think Triple H has done a disservice to, Otis should
Poor
be
Otis. What a legend.
should be at least wrestling for titles. The fact that
Didn't he just have a match recently? Like Bang? Didn't he fought
he had a match
Gunther?
with Gunther, yeah. This was the beginning of the maybe if Gunther wrestled, he could get over as world champion. They did the stupid thing where he was like, and you're what's wrong because you guys are all comedy and entertainment, and I'm a serious in-ring wrestler. So he wrestled.
Otis came up there and beat.
So he wrestled Tozawa first as like, hey, now I'm going to show you. And I was like, we're about to get a fired up fucking Tozawa. Because Akira Tozawa is an old indie star. Like,
Yeah.
that man can go. And they started to make him go. And I was like, I want Gunther to be afraid of this man. And then they did Gunther and Otis the next week. And it was similarly like, because Otis is still somehow super over. Despite the Booker's attempt to quell that for some reason.
We love Otis. We'll never not love Otis. We all want him to get his revenge.
Like, the fact that Otis versus Chad Gable was not on the SummerSlam card, or was not around the SummerSlam card, is wild to me.
Whose fault? Well,
The fault of the man who books the show.
I guess.
Play that soundbite
What
right
match
here.
would you have scrapped for that?
I wouldn't. It was SummerSlam. It can have 6 matches.
But in fact, maybe it couldn't. So what would you, if you have to pick one, what would you pick?
You know what? There was another match that happened on that show that I completely forgot happened. Nia Jax also wrestled Bayley on that show.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's the one we're getting rid of because everybody
just-
forgot it.
So you're getting rid of women's wrestling for 2 mid-card men.
For the
Great.
most built storyline on Monday Night Raw. Yes.
Crazy. And I'm the one that doesn't like women's wrestling. Okay. I love my women.
I forgot that Nia Jax was on that show. She won the women's title on that show.
I forgot that Nia Jax.
And Bayley was on that show, and I love Bayley.
I don't know why.
She had one of the best matches WrestleMania 40 week.
Sure.
Against who?
Io Sky.
Well, that makes sense.
That's where she won the title. She also won the Royal Rumble that year.
What a legend.
I know. they did the Booker. They did her a disservice as well.
Seems like we say that all the time, but yeah, we watch every week.
Because the stuff that's good is so good.
I know it's an abusive relationship, but when it's good, it's good. And then I'll get punched in the face 8 times.
Listen, I would rather complain about the lower mid card, Otis versus Chad. I know I just complained about a women's main event match,
Yep,
but
you
like
did.
to go, and the disservice wasn't that the match. It was that it felt like it was the penultimate match night too. Bayley versus Io Sky was, and it felt like it wasn't being given time on SmackDown. But that was also the show the Bloodline was on, so I'm not going to then say anything else about that, and we can leave that.
Okay.
And we can leave the speculation to be where it's at, and I won't say anything else in regards to it. But I would rather be complaining in general about how I want to see the lower mid-card guys on pay-per-view, like Chad Gable versus Otis, which was a lower card feud, over 5 years ago, when the only title that was guaranteed to be on pay-per-view was the WWE title, and the mid-card titles just didn't matter, and the secondary world title, which flopped back and forth between the WWE and Universal titles, didn't matter. And when Kofi Kingston was WWE champion, he couldn't buy a pay-per-view spot, let alone a main event. We're at a place now where I can...
When he lost in 15 seconds, was that on a pay-per-view?
Nope, that was on SmackDown. So, like, that was our main event scene. So, the fact that my complaints are about the mid-card and not Cody versus people, I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So...
Is that the worst? What's the worst title reign that you've been alive for?
Jinder Mahal. World title reign or title reign in general? If it's world title reign, it's Jinder Mahal.
Excluding Jinder Mahal, who's the worst?
Again, is this world title reign specifically?
Yeah, the main title.
Okay. I'm going to say this. And
Oh, no.
I don't think the thought is controversial. I think the knee-jerk reaction is going to be something. Big E.
You know, that doesn't shock me.
Such a good title win. They did nothing.
Who did he beat? Again.
He cashed in his Money in the Bank against Bobby Lashley. The cash-in was great. And his short Money in the Bank run was also great. I cannot tell you a single thing he did in that title reign except lose it.
2.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar hates the New Day.
Sure, that's who he hates.
Hey! We don't talk about him in this house like that. He's on my Mount Rushmore for a reason.
Anyway.
Nobody suplexes like Brock Lesnar suplexes.
That just isn't true. Taz. The man whose nickname
Okay.
was the Human Suplex Machine.
Alright. Okay. Still disagree.
I would say Big E. Kofi's wasn't great. It was long, but he did not get many main events. But
That's what I would have said was
but
Kofi.
he got pay-per-view matches and he got stories. So I will at least give him that. He had a good little story against Randy Orton.
You know what's so sad? Kofi has a world title run, right?
Yeah.
The most memorable Kofi Kingston moment I always think of is, I thought you were Jamaican.
Which is wild because they had dropped that part of his character by that point.
I know, but then it's just like that. I just always think about this. I'm like, who says that? Is that Kurt Angle that says that? Or
Who's Triple H?
It's Triple H. Yeah.
Such a
No, Kurt Angle is the Kurt Angle is. Well, I'm not really that big of a fan.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
You don't remember that?
On the best Kurt Angle moments? There's a lot.
I'm not that a really big fan of the.
Was that Kurt Angle? I don't know that. Kurt
I'm
Angle.
almost positive that's Kurt Angle.
I remember. I'm just a sexy Kurt. I remember. What's the one I'm thinking of? Oh, the famously bad. You're a boy in a man's world, and I love to play with boys. Thank you, Kurt Angle.
That's a banger too. I love Kurt
I
Angle.
think that was during Rey Mysterio's world title reign. Another not great world title reign.
Leave Ray alone.
He deserved a better world title.
I understand.
Oh,
That's
his
not.
WWE title reign was also really bad.
We love Rey Mysterio.
We
All
do.
very good.
We
know.
love Rey Mysterio. He deserved better world title reigns. He had 3 of them.
You don't love Rey Mysterio like I love Rey Mysterio.
That might be true, but I can still recognize that Rey Mysterio deserved better. Rey Mysterio has a Royal Rumble win and 3 world title reigns. And the Rumble win is fueled by the death of Eddie Guerrero, and I'm not joking.
Yeah, I know.
I cannot tell you what he does in the first world title reign, where he wins it at WrestleMania, and Vince refuses to acknowledge him as world heavyweight champion because he's Rey Mysterio and he's small. Thus, he is only world champion. And I cannot tell you who he defends against except for one defense against Kurt Angle, only because of that promo. He then wins the world title again in 2010. I believe he beats Jack Swagger for it, and he gets cashed in on by Kane. He may only hold that title.
I remember. Yeah.
He may only hold that title for one day. I don't remember if he wins it the month before Money in the Bank or if he wins it at Money in the Bank. And then his WWE title reign, he holds it for approximately 1 hour. Because in the opening match, he beats, this is after Money in the Bank 2011, when CM Punk wins the WWE Championship and walks out. They then hold a 2-week tournament to decide a new WWE champion. And in the opening match of the second week, he beats The Miz in the final to win the WWE title. And John Cena goes, well, now you have to fight me because I'm the last one who lost the title in the main event, and then beats him.
And John, who hasn't always been a heel.
Rey Mysterio deserves to be a multi-time world champion. He also deserves a memorable world title reign.
I love Rey.
And you know what? You can give it to him before he retires. He is good enough and active enough in that ring now that I would not be upset about it if you did it right.
I have a different question about a different wrestler that I really like.
Go for it.
That you don't like. And I just need to see if your opinion on him changes if I get rid of one part of his life.
I don't know who you're going to say because I can't think of anyone that I specifically
If I get rid of all of the things that Kane the person has done politically, do you like Kane as a wrestler more?
Yes. I think Kane, if we speak just on his in-ring accolades, which Kane is someone that I think I can do that with, unlike some other people. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
I thought it was Bob Benoit.
Him too. Him I give a little bit more stuff to because he was clearly sick and had actual issues that should have been addressed by doctors and wasn't. And now would be addressed by doctors because of him and Eddie. Kane has one of the greatest. Kane is someone that his WWE title reign was bad, but they then gave him a better world title reign down the line to make up for it. He held the title for like a day in the Attitude Era. So he's recognized as a former WWE champion, but is he? No, he's one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest in-ring stars of all time.
Big Kane.
Love Kane. I do dislike Kane as a person. You are correct. I don't like Mayor Kane. I don't like Glenn Jacobs, the person. But
I can't. I like the corporate Kane. I do like a little bit. Well, after seeing Kane dressed up like a demonic being for so long, just to see him come out smiling like the president, it is such a Wilson Fisk Kingpin as the president type of thing. I'm like, I love this.
It's better than Concessions Kane, but
I do know you hate that.
His team with Daniel Bryan is one of my favorite tag team ups of all time, and not just because of Daniel Bryan, because Kane also has a great role in that. Their backstage segments, he gets to be funny. There is a video, if you have not seen it, of Daniel Bryan rapping and Kane beatboxing, and it is one of the greatest segments of both of their careers, which is saying something.
You're the WWE historian, so you can help me with this. There's a promo, and I want to say it's Undertaker, Booker, Stone Cold, either Big Show or Kane, and it's literally just like, and Vince is there, and he's talking to like all four of them. Maybe it was a 5-man, it was supposed to be a 5-on-5 match, and Vince just keeps saying it, and then Stone Cold just keeps repeating exactly what Vince says, trying to like break the Undertaker. What is that? Because that kills me every time.
It's during Stone Cold's heel run. I want to say it's part of the Invasion, but I might be incorrect. But it's in that era. It's when Stone Cold.
Do you remember who it was?
Whether it was Kane or Big Show?
Yeah, or who was there?
I remember Vince and I remember Stone Cold because it's part of Stone Cold's thing, and it's a weird moment of Stone Cold trying to look tough and succeeding in trying to look tough and not just looking tough.
Oh God, I love
it. Stone Cold's heel run was one of the worst decisions WWE ever made, but God, if he didn't go for it and was it not funny. It was the worst decision because he was the top face, and the next top face was The Rock, who was about to go away and film a movie, and the next top face was Undertaker, who wasn't really...
Undertaker as a face sounds crazy, but
but they hadn't yet gotten Taker to that point, so it was a little weird, and like they had to staple Triple H to Stone Cold for a while.
What era of Taker is that? Is that American Badass?
Yeah, the end of American Badass Taker. So, just to give you an idea of where we're at.
What's the worst version of Taker?
I'm either. I just remembered an era of Taker that is clearly the one, so I'm going to give you the clear winner, and then I'm going to give you...
Is it the Egg Boy?
No. It would have been if it was,
Yeah.
but it would be, like, right before his retirement. That 2-year stretch at the end where he was doing the Saudi matches would be that era of Taker. It would, other than that, it would be between either Ministry of Darkness Taker, or I would say part of his American Badass run. I'm happy that the American Badass exists now because the gimmick is cool.
Is it?
Do you hate it or do you like it?
No, I think I hate it.
Okay.
I think whenever Undertaker is not overtly a dead man, I just don't like it.
It's nice to get a break, and it's nice for him to now be able to come out and do stuff as American Badass Taker and not really damage the dead man mystique that much.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's nice now being able to look back and do that. But at the time, Taker was in the worst shape of his career, and it was a weird tonal shift, and I don't know if it is that good overall. But I think it gets a little bit better, and then he gets to come back as a dead man, and when he comes back as the dead man, he proceeds to have probably the best years of his career.
I was just saying, yeah.
So, like...
The only, everything good about Taker is...
Yeah, like, my best Taker memories, and maybe this is because I was watching live at the time, were those later streak matches, and, like... And then he put out some of the worst stuff after his streak got broken.
How I would have loved to have been a WWE fan when the streak was alive. How I would have loved to have seen it got broken.
I understand your thought process, and I see you, and your feelings are valid. Oh boy.
What?
It was a time to be alive. It might be that year, that 2-year stretch between that era in the late 20s of the Manias, the late 20 WrestleManias, is a rough stretch. And
But it was my favorite wrestler.
who broke the streak? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
That's
you know
that's
what?
more specifically tailored to me, how I would have... To watch Brock Lesnar beat
Yeah.
the fucking streak?
Yeah, like, in general, the Brock Lesnar beating the streak is a good moment. The match kind of sucked, but that's not the fault of either of them. Taker gets concussion early on, and that Mania is an all-time Mania. But, like, the build to that match is bad. Fun fact.
Okay.
The build to that Mania doesn't start getting good until late, when Punk leaves and the fans outrage and they're forced to change everything. Again, remember, it was so bad that the fans outraged.
Yeah.
And they outraged to the level that they changed the plans.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm happy you get to be a fan now when the things we complain about are lower mid-card stuff and not and which match out of the many candidates should main event the show and not them ending a pay-per-view on a non-finish.
You know what I realized the other day? That I don't value nearly any of the things that you do. As a wrestling fan, we are very, very different, which is already obvious. But I don't think I could. You could give me absolutely no build on anything. Like, genuinely could just be a night he just walks out and is like, I'm gonna... Any champion. Be like, I'll defend against anybody, and anybody comes out and they get in the ring and they have a match. I would like that more than building a story over like 3 or 4 months. I'm so down to just watch people in the ring. If
so
wrestling
fun.
had no story, I think I would not like it more. Whoa, no, go ahead.
No, finish your thing.
I was saying, if wrestling had no story, I'd love it so much.
And you don't like AEW.
Yeah, I know, but they don't have any wrestlers I like.
That's the complaint that people give about AEW is that there's no story.
There's no stories, but I'm fine with that. But they also don't have talent. Like, I like watching talented, exemplary wrestling. Is what I'm saying not making sense?
It does not make sense.
Why? Because
AEW has some of the
they
best
have Kenny
wrestlers on the
Omega.
roster.
They have Kenny Omega, who I can look and be like, okay, he can wrestle anybody.
And Will Ospreay.
And
Ricochet and Kyle Fletcher.
And Ricochet I disagree with, and Samoa Joe I agree with, because you know I'm a Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Samoa Joe's good.
D
Samoa Joe
rider
as well.
But
MJF, Bryan Danielson. I'm not going to say John Moxley because his recent stuff has been bad. I'm not going to say.
I know, but I like
his
John
recent
Moxley,
stuff
so
has been
I would give you John, and I'll give you Daniel Bryan, but
yeah. And then you say you don't. I don't know. It's you. Speak,
AEW just feels like the rejects of the WWE, and I will never not feel that way.
It's just funny.
Besides Kenny Omega.
It's funny to hear you say what is normally the argument for an overall pro wrestling indie fan, which is kind of where I tread a little bit. When I come to WWE, I come for the story. That's why I come to WWE. If I want just the matches, I do watch AEW or I pull up one of my indie shows or stuff.
I guess
like
it's
that.
not a 100-0 thing. It's more like a 70-30. Like I can the story I'll take or leave. It'll make it that much better.
Yeah.
But I need the stuff in the ring to be good for me to care.
I mean, I would prefer both be.
I agree, but I can
completely honest.
But there is one that I could 100% walk away with not giving a shit about, and if the match is good, I'm fine.
Sometimes. I mean, that's why I'm willing to buy tickets for, again, to use AEW as the example, it's why I'm willing to buy tickets for Dynasty, because they're pay-per-views. Even Revolution, it had a bad main event and a bad ending, but it had 3 all-time matches on it.
Has there ever been a non-finished good ending?
Sure. Okay. Give me a definition of a non-finish first. Just when someone interferes or when it gets... Because technically that match had an ending, if you want to consider it that way. It was just a bad ending. Because if you want to say any interference, then...
There's a that's a DQ, right?
Not always. Because it depends.
Hey.
Has there ever been a DQ that's been a good finish?
No.
On pay-per-view?
Ever.
Ever?
I don't know. I don't know. There's just something about a DQ makes me just be like, oh, that sucked.
As with everything, it just depends when it happens. It's easy to look like and think of like all of the bloodline, not DQ and interference finishes we've had over the past 2 years and be like, oh, that's always bad. Yeah, those are bad. You see them every month. It's always going to be like, it's always going to feel like that. During the Drew McIntyre and Punk feud, there were a couple of those. Those are some really good ones, actually, with Punk interfering and costing McIntyre. And when they started to get tired, they stopped doing them. It's just, again, it's all the checks and balances of, if you're doing it too much, it's going to get boring no matter what it is. I'm expecting Dynasty to be a really good show.
Did you apologize to Tony Khan yet?
I did, because it was about the main event stuff.
All right. You want to take it back yet, or?
No,
Okay.
Just that I came at him really hard and didn't keep my man in check, I think is what the apology for. I still agree with what I said. That you chose.
So you don't really apologize?
No, not really. I don't apologize for what I said. I apologize that I came so hard at him when my man turned around and did the same thing. I still disagree in any of the 4 matches main event. Then why didn't you have the correct choice main event? Actually, it would have been a women's match on that show too, but that's not the point. The point was that you picked the match with the bad ending to main event. Not that. You picked.
There's nothing that I think I want to watch less than an AEW women's match as a finale or as a final match. Or a main event.
It just happened to be. It was the most built story going into it. It's like the result of like 2 years of careful booking, and the 2 women did go on and put on. It's one of the best matches of that night. So like I can understand the reservations going into it, but that's why you then book Kenny Omega versus Nosuke Takeshita or Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher as the main event instead. If that's your thing, just not the match that has the weird. I understand that was the world title match, but your world title match has not always main evented. AEW doesn't have that precedent, like WWE does, I would say.
Do you think that's not the right precedent?
As a precedent, I think that makes sense to have your world title main event because it's supposed to be your top of the card thing.
Yeah.
But again, I think AEW has this a bit more down, and WWE is kind of trying to present it now. Your women's champion is also a world champion now, at least. It's more so in AEW than WWE, I would say, because AEW likes to present them as both the AEW men's world champion and the AEW women's world champion. But like WWE calls both the WWE and the world title for women as world titles, so it still counts to me in my head. But there are exceptions to that rule. That would have been an exception to the rule. WWE played with having the championship match open, and they did that specifically because I think there was something else that night. It was one of the No Mercies. It was opened with Cena versus AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose for the WWE title, and I think there was something that night that made them want to put the big match on last. And I believe everyone then went, well, this would be a cool opportunity to have the Intercontinental Championship main event because you normally wouldn't put that in the main event over the world title. But if we're doing this as an experiment, which is fun, we could do that, and that could give the prestige to that belt.
And then what did they do?
I don't even remember.
Oh.
I just remember that it didn't happen. There was also a lot of opportunities to do that when Brock Lesnar was WWE champion.
Because he was never there.
The only belt. Yeah, and you had the B shows, and it is what it is. Lesnar showed up for the Big Four. We never went with the SummerSlam or a WrestleMania without the WWE Championship. It is what it is sometimes. And
Brock Lesnar's a little bit of a dickhead.
yeah. But you know what?
I hate being older and realizing that people are pieces of shit. Because then I can't just blindly love giant men that throw people around. I know, Winter, it's upsetting.
But you know, checks and balances. That was a time where the booking for a full-time world champion wasn't very strong, so making it a bit more of a special attraction probably helped keep its prestige up. So I'm not that mad about it.
Okay.
But there were a lot of times to have a lot of cool main events, and they had a couple very bad main events during that time.
But I hate to rush you, but you
Yes.
said 3.
Yes.
Are you done with wrestling?
Went to Roadblock.
Oh, yes.
Went to Roadblock. It was awesome. Just standout matches. The tag match, because of course it was a Fraxium match. That's just how it goes. It was Fraxium versus the Hardys. It was a good time. Oba versus Moose. I don't think I liked it nearly as much as anyone else did. I thought it was good, but people are like singing its praises and like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's all a bunch of Moose love.
Moose did good. Moose did do good. I'm not, like, again, this isn't taking anything away. It might be the best card, the best top to bottom card I've seen live.
Okay.
So, like, to be the worst match on that show, like, it's like how we say, like, oh, to get a 7 out of 10 is still very good. Like,
yeah.
That's still exceptional. Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia was really good. It was good to see. It was good to see a clean finish, and I'll explain that in a moment. Javon Evans versus Ethan Page was a lot of fun. It was a plunder match, but it was a fun plunder match. Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez was also really good, as you would expect from those two. There was because the first match was for the TNA tag belts, and the NXT title match was being contested against TNA wrestler, and because the main event was a winner-take-all match between both women's belts, there was a worry that there would be a bunch of non-finishes, and there were none. All the matches finished cleanly, which was nice. The belief is that Julie is actually injured, so she had to drop her women's title, and Stephanie's the correct choice to take it. I hope she vacates the NXT Women's North American title, and we figure out a way to crown a new champion, because there's no reason for her to have both belts, and there's no reason to unify them. But it was a very good show. Very good show top to bottom. The theater at Madison Square Garden is a very cool venue. Yeah, I know.
We love MSG.
I was worried about how it would look because it's a theater, so it's meant to be like
Yeah.
plays and concerts and stuff, and it worked out very well. It was
Yeah.
a little weird, just kind of staring at cameras and stuff behind the ring, but it worked. The energy was cool. It was a great night.
Yeah.
New York was fun overall. We then went to the Central Park Zoo the next day, and that was cool. A lot of them were very accurate. Well, a lot of them were very active.
Okay.
The sea lions were very performative.
I would hope they would be accurate. It's kind of their job.
Yeah. We saw them feed the sea lions, and they did tricks.
They did tricks.
But they were doing tricks before then. It's like they knew that people were there and wanted to take pictures of them because they were getting up on the side. They were posing. Saw some penguins.
What did you say? I can't. You dissed me. It's with these penguins, and I can't remember. And it's
it was just
did you say you built like a penguin?
Yeah, why you built like a penguin? Because that king penguin is standing there, and he's just got like the same like stature of like standing up as you do. And I was like, why does he look so much like Tanner?
I hate you because as soon as you said it, I was like, Mom. It's one of those things where it's like somebody says it's like, hey, yeah, I guess I do exactly. That is me to a T. I guess I hate myself now.
At least it was a king. Like, could be worse. They had like one of those Surf's Up penguins that have like the tuft of hair on.
Oh, I love those.
But yeah, I got to see them eat too. It was really funny because the king penguins got their big fish fed first, and then she's trying to feed the little penguins, and the one king penguin is like, I'm not done.
Yeah.
I'm still hungry. And she's like, can you move so I can feed them? And she like, no, she like sits them there and then puts her leg in front of them while she's feeding the other ones. Zoo was really nice. I am just a person that walks, so I make good strides across a city. Went to Midtown Comics. Don't know if you've ever been to Midtown Comics.
I've heard of it. You sent me a picture. I was like,
yeah.
That place is cool.
Yeah, there was some cool stuff there. I don't think we actually bought anything the second day. Spent a lot of money at the show itself. Obviously, a new title belt was bought. We got shirts and stuff like that. So, but it was a good night. Might be the only time I actually stay at a hotel in Midtown Manhattan, but at least I can say I have.
Yeah.
So, it was good. Probably the best New York trip I've ever been on, which is
Not a
Nice.
high bar. I've never had a good New York trip. I've been 3 times.
Yeah, there's at least, and that was the same with
Yeah.
me until this time. There's at least 2 more New York trips on the docket because of ballparks. She's going to probably want to go for other stuff, but I think we've found a way to make it work, which is, I never drove in New York, but fuck driving there at all. We live by a train station. We're just going to go get on the train, and we're going to take the Amtrak to New York, and then
How long was that?
in like 2 hours, same amount it would have been if we drove.
Ain't bad.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about driving.
Yeah, exactly. And that works better for her. She doesn't do well on long car rides because of the seat and having to pee and stuff like that.
That's why I travel with the boys.
I truck some distance. I'm just a man. I saw a TikTok recently that was when you're near the end of the road trip and you have to call on the closer and it's the guy coming in from thinking it. And I saw the comment that was just like, my dad used to go start to end, full game prep, and I was like, that's me right there. I do full game.
And you know what? To give my buddy credit, when we went to Myrtle Beach last time, the whole ride up, he did from where we are all the way to Myrtle Beach. It was like a 10-hour ride. Did the whole thing. And you know what the funniest part was? He asked us to switch like 4 or 5 times. Me and the other guy in the car were like, yeah, no. And to be fair, the one time where he asked me, I was like, I would, bro, but my blood sugar's high as shit. And it actually was. And I'm like, I really shouldn't drive right now. He's like, okay. And then he just didn't ask me again. I think he thought I was making it up and just didn't ask me again. And then as we were getting closer there, like the last 2 hours, like, do you want me to take over? He's like, no, I got it. And he pushed all the way through like a champ. And then basically, on our way back, I drove like the first 2.5 hours, and then he took the rest. And our other buddy just got out. It wasn't his vehicle. He just got out of driving. So we told him this time, we said, you're driving, Hetty. It is what it is. You're going to have to drive. He's like, well, yeah, I like driving. I'm like, you told us you hate driving out of state. He's like, yeah, I already drove down to Tennessee once. Now I'm good. I say, so you'll do it for a woman, but you wouldn't do it for the boys. I see how it is. He's like, hey, however the cookie crumbles.
Just be careful going through Virginia.
Yeah, I heard their police are really bad, or yeah, they're like,
love pulling people over.
That's what what's his face told me. Guy at work told me the same thing. I'm like, yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that. So.
When I did what is my current road trip achievement in my head, I've probably driven longer, but it's because I did this one alone. Was when I met the family down in North Carolina. I left at like 5 a.m. So originally the plan was I was working overnight, and then I was going to sleep, and then I was going to work a 3 to 11, and then I was going to leave right after the 11.
Yeah.
Because of reasons that are to be unsaid, I did not sleep during that 8-hour period there. So when I got back from my 3 to 11, I crashed. I woke up at like 5 a.m., couldn't sleep, and I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Threw my stuff into the car and left. I trucked that drive from Wilmington, Delaware, all the way down to Lake Gaston in North Carolina. I think I stopped once for gas. In Virginia, I stopped once for gas. And I just trucked it, and I was alone, just completely alone, did it. One shot. And then, that was during that trip, on my way down to North Carolina, I got pulled over in Virginia. And guy comes up. Now, I am aware of Virginia's nonsense. You will never catch me speeding in Virginia. I'm aware of the speed limit signs. I will set my car to cruise control at the amount. I'm not playing around. You ain't gonna catch me slacking. Pulls me over. I'm like, okay. Comes up. You have any reason why I pulled you over? I was like, honestly, I don't. I had my cruise control set to the speed limit of 70. He pulled me over right in front of a speed limit sign too. It was perfect. And he's like, I don't really know. And he's like, we're just following close up to a car. You got your information? I was like, sure. Hand him my information. And I'm like, that's a little weird. I'm watching him. He goes over to the back seat. He looks over into the back seat, and I was like, Jersey tags.
Yeah.
Things are legal in Jersey that are not legal in Virginia.
Oh, what, the tents and stuff, or?
I'm pretty sure marijuana. Other stuff like that I don't think is legal in Virginia. At least maybe it wasn't at the time, and it is.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm straight edge, so I have no idea the law.
He 100. I mean, I don't either, which is why I have nothing to worry. Which is why I'm kind of calm and I'm white. But I realized oh, does he think I might have drugs? Is this a potential drug bust? And he comes back, hands me aside. He's like, just watch what you're doing. You're free to go. I'm like, okay. I go, turn the corner. Welcome to North Carolina, motherfucker. Stop me right before the state border. And then looked for my car for drugs, essentially. Gave me a BS reason because I was not close following behind anyone. And I was not speeding because I'm not playing around in Virginia. I know how they
You have a dash cam?
I do not, sadly.
You should get a dash cam. Everybody says everybody should have a dash cam.
I will consider it if I drive through Virginia again. Definitely if I do that. We'll see. I'm going to pull it over.
I don't like to pile on the cops.
I don't like to
even though as easy as it has become in the new age. But apparently it is just true that there are, like, they want to give you the excuse of, like, one bad apple doesn't make a bad bunch. But apparently, like, it really is, like, there's just, like, a bunch of really corrupt-ass cops that will do anything for whatever reason.
Power's addicting.
Yeah, I guess so. And that's what everybody says. It's like, you become a cop and it gives you power. But it shouldn't. I don't know. We don't have to get into that conversation. But just get a dash cam. Because I think I'm going to get... I think I'm going to get one.
I might.
I'm just worried that my car can't handle it.
I don't drive often anymore. The only ticket I've gotten from anything in the past couple of years... I also think that was the only time I've gotten pulled over in the past couple of years.
I haven't got pulled over in a long time.
I can tell you, I have not gotten pulled over in the state of Delaware since moving to Delaware. I did get a ticket, and it wasn't because of a traffic stop. It was because, I can send you the video. I have the video, and I think I have the paper here somewhere, too. The corner of Naaman's Road and Concord Pike has a camera. And they caught me. And I 100% ran that red light. And they caught me. And they sent it to me in the mail. And I looked at it, and I was like, I don't know. And I pulled up the video, and I was like, I just don't think I really did. I watched it, I was like, I guess I'm paying this ticket.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I 100% did. I sped through that shit. There was a good 2-3 feet between me and the line when that light turned red. I did, 100%.
Yeah,
And I went and I paid it.
Yeah. I got pulled over on my way to work one time. And it wasn't speeding, it was something else. Oh, it was that he was just behind me and then ran my shit. And then I think my registration was out that month or the month before. One of the two. And it was like, just make sure you get that done. I'm like, oh, yeah, I will. And then I did, but I just sometimes bro, it's in the corner of your thing every time. You forget. I don't think it's that big a deal. Not that it's not that big a deal, but...
Well, one in the corner is the inspection.
Maybe it was inspection then. Okay. Nah, because the registration was good. I've never driven an unregistered vehicle. It had to be the inspection. The inspection was bad. But it is what it is.
Mine's coming up. I gotta figure that out. That's later this year.
Mine's 2026, I think. I think it's like March 3rd. Or March 3rd. It's like 2026.
So March 2026.
Yeah.
Mine's November 2025. That is it's still in the inspection from when I bought it.
There you
but
go.
It's good. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Just a little dented up.
Well, they stopped checking for emissions anyway. You don't know what that means, do you?
I know what emissions are. I didn't know they checked for emissions.
Yeah, no, they did, yeah. They used to check, like, you couldn't have your check engine light, they'd fail you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now they don't.
Oh, my check engine light isn't on. The only light I have on is the tire pressure sensor.
Same. I have the same, because I replace the sensor almost every time, and every time it comes back on. There's something wrong with the car where it just breaks them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And that I haven't gotten. I've registered that car, I think, twice since then, and I haven't.
Mine's broken in a weird way, because, like, I have also the, like, because I have a newer car, the one where it actually gives me the display of what's in it, and it reads correct. It reads, oh yeah, they have 33 PSI in them, which is what they're supposed to have in them, and the light still won't go off, and it's like, you're acknowledging that it's correct.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate all this computer in the car. I miss when the car was a car. But
I like the computer in the car.
I don't.
That's one of those fundamental differences between us, though.
Yeah, I am so manual 2001. Give me stuff that... Give me a pulley over a... I don't know. They're taking our jobs!
Taking our jobs.
I don't know. Alright. So what are you... Are we done with the wrestling? Do you need my football updates? How does Sports Center start? You know, it's famous.
Heavily trademarked.
No, it's not. You can just do it with your mouth.
It's not da-na-na, da-na-na.
Da-na-na, da-na-na. That is exactly how it goes. But I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to know. Nothing much has happened other than just like a couple of marginal moves. Mekhi Becton signed to the Chargers. Eagles guard. couple of corners went places, like Nate Hobbs to the Packers, DJ Reed, I want to say went to the Lions, but I can't remember. Nothing really crazy. What's real crazy is that, okay, Cooper Kupp went to the Seahawks. Cooper Kupp got cut, and now he's a Seahawk, after the Seahawks let go of both of their good receivers. I believe Keenan Allen and Mike Williams both went back and signed with the Chargers. As a Bears fan, I'm kind of sad, but not really. Keenan was good when he played, but he just didn't play enough. Big players still out, not having signed DeAndre Hopkins went to the Ravens, which is a big guy, I guess, if you still believe DeAndre Hopkins can be a game changer. I don't. Stephon Diggs and Amari Cooper are probably the two biggest names left at receiver without a contract. I want one of those guys. I really want Amari Cooper. I also really want Stephon Diggs. I think Stephon Diggs is better, but there is a level of diva that comes with Stephon Diggs. And I don't think Stephon would be ready to go into... If Stephon Diggs was ready to be a 2, I don't know why he doesn't re-sign with Houston. But Nico Collins is their number 1. If he comes to the Bears, he's not going to be number 1. DJ Moore is our number 1. There's a very good possibility that Stephon comes here and he's a 3. Because Rome Odunze gets another year under his belt. He was a first-round wide receiver. He's very good. He's going to be a 3 here, probably. I would be fine with him being a 2 for a 2-year deal. But, I don't know. Amari Cooper, I think, is perfect for a 3, and I would love him. Aaron Rodgers still doesn't have a job. He is holding out, trying to get this Vikings job. He's trying to complete the Favre career.
And what was the... I know we talked about it off the record, but on the record, what was the rumored one that had dropped recently?
What are the Giants doing, man? The Giants have taken meetings with everybody. Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson. Who was the other guy? And Joe Flacco. Like, what are you doing, New York? You don't... I don't know. They need to draft a quarterback. If they don't draft one of the two at their draft pick, I don't know what they're doing. You got to take that or Travis Hunter. Like, you really can't afford to do anything else. But, whatever. Pittsburgh lost both their quarterbacks, so I have no idea what they're going to do.
Wasn't that the one that we talked about?
It was Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Justin Fields got a job in New York for the Jets, and Russell Wilson took a meeting with the Browns and the Giants. I find it very hard to believe that Russell Wilson's going to wait to see if they get Aaron Rodgers. I think Russell Wilson will go to either the Browns or the Giants. I would actually like to see him be a Giant because I think he could do well there. As much as that sounds hard to believe, I do think Brian Daboll's a really good coach. I think he's been handcuffed with I think their GM is really bad. And I think he's been handcuffed with a lot of bad decisions, and it sucks. He'll lose his job for that, but he'll go on to do a very good job somewhere else. Brian Daboll is a good head coach, deserves another head coaching job. You don't come in and take the laughing stock of a franchise that the Giants were at the time. He took them to the playoffs. The Giants were only in the playoffs 2-3 years ago. And then they made horrible decisions. They paid Daniel Jones a ass ton of money. Saquon Barkley didn't get extended. And I don't know. It sucks. Brian Daboll has been put in a very bad situation. And he knew what he wanted. They ended up getting... He knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to trade up for a quarterback.
So what were you thinking, Aaron Rodgers to Steelers or no? You think that won't happen and he will just go to the Vikings?
I guess it's if the Vikings think JJ's ready to go. Because they drafted a rookie last year. Then he got hurt. And that's how Sam Darnold started playing. They went 14-3 or whatever the Vikings did. And now he has a $100 million four-year deal with the Chargers. Not the Chargers. The Seahawks.
Right.
If they think... Because JJ didn't get to learn anything. Because he was hurt. Like, he had a serious injury where he wasn't training. He's only been rehabbing. So if they think he needs another year to learn the offense and actually work with the guys, you bring in Aaron Rodgers for a year? Maybe. But I find it hard to believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to go anywhere for a one-year deal.
What about your old... You talked about it before, then sports contracts of like, I know how you feel about Aaron Rodgers. Don't look at me like that. We can hit your catchphrase in a moment. But what about the, you were telling me about it before, you know, he might, sometimes that happens with older guys. They sign the one-year deal just to prove that they can still do it.
Yeah, but he's 41. He's way past that, and he's Aaron Rodgers. He's an egotistical maniac. I hate him. More than I hate the Packers.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the Steelers is like a winning situation for him. They just traded for DK Metcalf, a good wide receiver. They already had George Pickens, a good wide receiver. They have Freiermuth, a good tight end. He has all of the makings of a good offense in front of him, and they are always a defensive juggernaut. It does not matter the people that they have. Mike Tomlin knows defense. Why are you holding on for the Vikings, who, to be fair, have made a lot of very good additions, good players, older players, but good players in free agency?
So that way you can play most of his games in a temperature-controlled stadium.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't see how the Vikings are any better than the Steelers. But maybe it's a Mike Tomlin thing. Maybe he doesn't feel like he can push around Mike Tomlin and get Mike Tomlin to do it. Because I'll tell you, this is probably what happened. He probably walked into his Steelers interview, and they said, "Yeah, no Pat McAfee show, and you're gonna come to OTAs." Like the real franchise that the Steelers are. As much as Steelers fans want to say that they want Mike Tomlin gone and their franchise isn't that good, okay, you can be upset about being one and done in the playoffs almost every year. You aren't a dumpster fire for 80% of your existence, and then you peak out for 1 or 2 years. If you don't win a championship in those peak 1 or 2 years, it doesn't matter. You guys have been consistently good to great, and you've won 2 Super Bowls in the last 20 years. A Super Bowl every 10, and this is what dynasties get us deluded on, that you should be able to win 2 or 3 Super Bowls at a time. That does not happen. Even the Patriots had it. Think they won 3. Then went 10 years without getting one. Then won another 3.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out like that. The Chiefs... Maybe I'll say it like this, because then you could bring up all the time of the teams that win a couple in 5 years, right? If you do not have the best quarterback or a top 3 quarterback in the league on your team, you don't win consistently. Yeah. Teams without that can win. We've seen it done. But they don't win consistently. The Ravens in 2000 didn't have a good quarterback. Bears in 85 didn't have a good quarterback. The 2008 and 2012 Giants, I love Eli Manning, good quarterback, not a top 5 quarterback. There's plenty of teams that go and win without top 5 quarterbacks. I'd make the argument that Matthew Stafford wasn't a top 5 quarterback when he won, but that's Matthew Stafford hate from me. Because the amount of rewriting of history we've had about Matthew Stafford because he has 1 Super Bowl is ridiculous. I remember Matthew Stafford. He was in my division for a very long time. The fact that he didn't win a playoff game with that Detroit team that they had, ridiculous. Having a top 5 defensive player, the best wide receiver in the league, and a top 5 quarterback that they want to say he was, yeah, he probably should have won a playoff game. But I'm getting on everybody else in my division. I'll stop. But for free agency, nothing else major. We're just waiting on the quarterback carousel to end. Basically, I have no idea what's going to happen with the quarterbacks now, because now Seattle seems like they're comfortable to go forward with Sam Darnold, even though they were a little bit lower down for a quarterback anyway. But the Raiders are we're happy to take Geno for 3 years. And he's an older guy, so I don't know if they'll take Cam Ward now. And I don't know if they'll take Shador. I don't know if Tennessee's going to take a quarterback. I don't know if the Cleveland Browns are going to take a quarterback. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the draft now. I really didn't think those teams would sign quarterbacks. I thought they would rock with what was going to happen in the draft, but they're not. So I don't really have much else. I think I've talked about everybody. The Vikings got every guy I wanted. In my division, I really wanted Jonathan Allen. I did get Grady Jarrett, which I was very happy about. I do like Grady Jarrett. But, I don't know. Everybody else got signed. There's not, the big ones left are, Stephon Diggs. I still think Amari Cooper can be a contributor on a winning team. Nothing else really crazy. If you care about what happens to Aaron Rodgers, that's one. But, other than that, nothing much crazy. NFL's coming, it'll start hyping up again when we get towards the draft. And I'll be watching live, like I always do. Be hanging out with my dad. You know what's been so funny? We've been able to stop watching the draft at like pick 8 or 10 because both of our teams have been in the bottom 10, and now he's 29. Yeah, he's 29 and I'm 10. So I'm still in the bottom 10, but he isn't. Which I would have never thought was true, but
It's funny.
that's Jaden Daniels. They got Jalen Hurts. We got Jaden Daniels.
Pittsburgh considers their team to be bad.
Yes, Pittsburgh fans think that they need to fire Mike Tomlin and that they're a failing franchise because they continue to be over 500 and continue to make the playoffs and lose in the first round. Which is true, in the bare bones of it, is true.
Yeah, something.
Picking at 20 every year is going to be harder for you to build a team. But the Steelers have consistently showed us that they know how to pick, and they pick players that contribute. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't go 8-9 or 9-8 or 10-7 or like a couple years ago they had like 13 wins in a row. They were 13-0. I think they made a lost out or whatever, but they were winning games. Like, you don't continue to stay that good if you don't draft well. All they do is draft well. That whole division, other than the Browns, draft well.
I think it's just the idea that like 12 teams make the playoffs every year. Under half of the league makes the
14
playoffs.
make it.
Is it 14?
Because there's 7 seeds.
The bracket I just saw was 6.
Probably an old bracket then.
It's
Because
from
there's
this year.
the first, the 1 seed gets a bye in both, and then there's 3 games.
Oh, I see. That's right. Okay. So yeah, 14, but that's still under half of your league.
Yeah.
And so you have to be a top half team, in theory, to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, in theory.
In theory, like divisional stuff here and there, but
Which I hate.
a bad team's not going to the playoffs.
I have the opinion that you can have the division, every division winner make the playoffs, but they shouldn't be locked into a top 4 seed.
I like the way the baseball does it, and I know you don't care about baseball. In baseball, the wild cards aren't divisional dependent.
What does that mean?
So you have your 3 division winners, and then your wild cards. The rest of each conference is just counted the same. So it's going to be...
Yeah, that's how the NFL is.
Is it?
Yeah. After the divisional winners, the wild cards don't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. But the thing about the NFL is the division winners, not depending on record, you could be a 7-9 team and win your division, and you're the 4th seed over the 5th seed who's 12-5.
Okay, yeah. But
That I
then-
don't like. You can keep it that every division winner makes the playoffs, but remove the seed lock. If I'm a 7-19, you're the 7th seed, but you won your division, so you made it. I don't.
So then
I don't think
one,
they don't deserve a home game just because you won your division. No.
Then the one change that, and again, baseball, it's all done by series, so multiple games are played, so
Yeah.
you're guaranteed.
You're
every
a
time
home
you
game
go.
eventually. Yeah.
But baseball does more buys than football, I believe. Football only does 1 seed gets buys, or does top 2 get buys?
Just it used to be the top 2, but when they made it
Okay.
7, it's just the top seed.
Yeah, we still get top 2 get buys, and then the lowest, your 3rd seed, which is the third highest scoring of the divisional winners, goes into the wild card rounds.
Yeah.
With the wild cards
Yes.
and comes forward. So they have to fight. If you're a little bit less, which was the Phillies a couple of times, but the Phillies were normally wild cards. This was the one year that we got the bye actually because we were number 2, I believe. So.
Yeah, that's what I would change about the. There's a bunch I change about the NFL. There's a bunch of rules that I don't like and stuff like that. But
I mean, in theory, if you're winning a division, you're earning of that spot. But I get what you're saying because you can have some divisions.
in theory,
that are-
you're not. I would say more often than not. I would love to see that stat. How often the 4 seed has less wins than the 5 seed,
Yeah.
and I bet you it would be closer to 50 than you'd think.
Yeah, because like
I genuinely wouldn't be shocked if the 5th seed had a better record than the 4th seed. More often than not, I would probably say it's 70-30.
Yeah,
It's
But
probably
sometimes-
closer to like 60-40. I bet.
Sometimes you do just get those divisions too that are just insane. Like in baseball was the NL
Yeah.
East this year, where 3 of the teams made the playoffs.
Yep.
Because that's just how ludicrous.
That was my division this year.
In
The
hockey,
NFC
it's
North
the-
had 3 division winners, or 3 teams from our division make it.
in hockey,
everybody
it's
but
the
me.
Metropolitan Division. It's nonsense.
The Metropolitan Division.
Yes, because
This is why we don't. This is why baseball is not real.
Well, that was hockey. So
Oh, what was it? Was it hockey? That's why hockey's not real. Both of those sports are always ridiculous. The
But that-
Metropolitan Division.
it's essentially all the city teams. Like it's both New York teams, New Jersey Flyers, because they ran out of things to say
And
it.
who's in the Mediterranean Division?
No one yet. No, baseball, it's NL East, NL Central, NL West, and then same thing with ALs.
Okay.
It's essentially the same, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because I think football, isn't it?
Do
you have 4 divisions per conference in football? Or is it 3?
Yes, 4.
Okay.
And north, south, east, and west on both sides. Yeah. NFC and AFC.
Yeah, baseball, it's 3 for each.
Yeah.
East, Central, West. I think for hockey, it is also 4. And I think that's what happened, is before the last expansions, they had either North, Central, South, or East, Central, West. And then they had to redo everything. So I think then we ended up with new divisions. And that's how the Metropolitan... I don't know. Hockey used to also have legacy names where they were named after people. So it was strange. Again, a lot of stuff in hockey is legacy. So it's...
We love hockey.
Yeah. So what happens when your championship's older than your league?
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
We, So, that's all I have for football.
Okay.
So I just watched The Greatest Show of All
Oh,
Time.
that's right. You did do that.
Yeah.
I was considering sitting down to watch it, and then I didn't.
If you...
I will at some point.
I say you promise to watch it this week, we can hold off. I would love to talk about it together.
Okay, I will try. Depends on how editing goes on Wednesday.
Okay, then I'll hold. You know what? I will hold this to talk about it until you watch it.
Okay.
So I'm not putting you on a timeline, but just
Yeah, I will try to at the very least get season 2 down. How many episodes is each season? Because I haven't even watched season 2, let alone season.
This last season was 8. I want to say season 2 was 10, but it might also be 8.
Okay, so I should be able to. Yeah, just depends on how editing goes.
It's so good.
I believe it.
It literally is just so good.
I believe it. Season 1 was really
People
good.
said that this last episode is bad, and it's just like, can we just stop trying to be contrarians and be contrarian? Like, I did that when I was 15 and 16 and 18 and 20 and 22. Can we be older than 22?
Your friends are the contrarians. That's a good last
I'm not.
line,
I don't know if I'm friends with the contrarians. I'm friends with the revisers of history.
Them too. Oh God.
Yeah, those. That's more of my complaints with that. Because I don't know. Arguing with somebody knowing that that wasn't their opinion the entire time bothers me.
Yeah.
But it's what's popular, I guess. I don't know.
Being revisionist is always wild to me. Like, you can go back on it a few months later, but like to stand.
Your opinion can change, but don't tell me the entire time. This is how I felt. I'm like, yeah, because I know you didn't feel that way.
Or to stand for like a year on this and be like, this was the best movie I've ever seen. It was the perfect way to
As
do
people
this. And then,
switching
like,
on
a year or two later.
No Way Home.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I don't know if you remember this. I was not anti No Way Home because I always knew No Way Home was a top 5 to 10 MCU film, but I never thought it was the best. Some people were like, this is easily the best. I was like, it's nowhere close to Infinity War. And then I made the same arguments they make now, where it's a nostalgia fest, and I was like, but it's like a nostalgia fest to a point, but it's also just a good movie. But they lean in on nostalgia, which you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
Like, nostalgia has gotten such like is becoming like taboo, almost. It's like, but it's not. It shouldn't be.
That was the argument that made me just stop arguing with them.
Yeah.
Was if you take out Andrew and Toby in that movie, there's no movie to it. You're right. They're main characters. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but they are that movie.
But then they make the argument, well, why is my main character coming halfway through the movie?
I mean, your main character isn't, but like
That's what I'm saying.
The main supporting characters are like whatever. Like they move the plot along. That's how characters work in movies. Good characters move the plot along.
Yeah.
Like, or you only like. The same person said this to me. You only like Yelena because she's played by Florence Pugh. You're right. Guess what? She's played by Florence Pugh. So I do. That's part of my enjoyment of that performance is the actor's performance. You're right. Congratulations. Guess what? Doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Like that you have described why I like it. Yes.
Yeah.
Like-
Sometimes arguments just don't make sense.
Yeah. That's not an argument against.
So then if we're gonna cover that when you watch it, I have one other thing.
Okay.
Zach, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Oh no.
If you were to describe me as a fan of anything, what would be the first thing that came to your mind?
The Hulk.
What would be the second thing that came to your mind?
Godzilla.
And there we go.
Okay.
It's disrespectful that Godzilla's not the first thing, but I'll take it. I understand it.
It's whatever happens first. I understand you're wearing a Godzilla shirt. You're also wearing a green shirt.
All my favorite things are green, except for vegetables.
They both kind of sit in the same spot.
Yeah. So, I am the biggest Godzilla fan that I know. Nobody comes close to me. I am Mr. Godzilla. Year and a half ago, maybe a year and a half might be generous, maybe it was over a year ago, I saw a video, and I can't remember, I want to say it was a TikTok, of this guy saying, we are working on a mod, for the old PlayStation Godzilla games. And I was like, huh, that piques my interest. I had just learned successfully how to emulate games on my PC and how to mod a PS2 and stuff like that. So I'm like, huh, this would be cool. So I looked into it, and it looked good. There were 3 games, I think, that made it to the PS2. Maybe it ended up being PS3, but it was Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, Melee. Then there's Godzilla Saves the Earth, which was my favorite one. That's the one I owned. I had Destroy All Monsters Melee on my GameCube, which is the first one. The second one I had on my PlayStation 2 with my dad's. And then there was Godzilla Unleashed, which I had on the Wii. And I want to say I also had it on PS2 with my dad, so I had it at both of my houses growing up. One of my favorite games of all time. Literally is just Godzilla versus another Godzilla monster on an island in a city. You throw buildings at each other, you beat each other up. It's just like an arena fighting game. But they have it's made by Midway. It's their own kind of like...
Nice.
Yeah, it's their own kind of spin on it. I think Arena Fighters, and I think like Naruto. Like the Naruto arena fighting games. But it's a little bit different from that. It's not like behind the back and 2 screens. It's one big screen and it stretches out and then whatever. They said they were going to mod it. I'm like, okay. I wonder what you're going to do. First thing I saw was gameplay. They got rid of all of the end lag. So like Godzilla's going like Goku crazy. Like I can use do you know what end lag is? I should probably explain that for the audience. End lag is the amount of time after you use a move till you can use another move. In these games, there's crazy end lag. You hit something, you use an attack, and you're like locked into that attack for a while, and then eventually you can move again. They basically just took a bunch of that out so that you can move, and it's actually like a fast-paced fighting game, which is sick. They added a bunch of custom animations, custom grabs, and the best thing they did, they updated all the graphics, all of the models. They added in a bunch of characters. There's an obscene amount of skins for every character. They have every version of Godzilla for Godzilla. Like, it is nuts. Because Godzilla changes from movie to movie. Like, it is very rarely that you don't have a Godzilla suit that doesn't change at all. Literally every possible thing you could think of, they did. There's a Godzilla DS game. They have the Godzilla DS game skins. There's a Godzilla game on the GBA, which I played and is a banger. They have all the skins for that game. So like 2-bit art style, or not 64-bit, and then like think of what a Godzilla game on the DS would look like. Everything. Zach, they have everything. The NES, the SNES games, and the 64, like they have everything. They have characters that have never been in Godzilla games before, like they added Varan, they have Obsidian, and Biollante, they added everybody. It's sick. It's called Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. So they combined the 2 games. They just released the demo of version 1.5. The only thing they had before was version 0.01. Or 0.01. And I played that and I loved it. And I was like, this is so much fun. And it was very bare bones. Now they just released version 1.5, playable, and it's not super hard to download. I literally started up right before I came here. I finally got it all set up and working. I'm going to configure my controller and play that tonight. It is sick. And I'm so happy that they made it super simple. Literally, you join the Discord, you download a thing, bang, open the application, done.
It's funny that you didn't consider yourself someone who downloaded modded games and stuff, given that you were the one that got Project M working on the Wii.
Yeah, you could say it, but that was all I did. I was a smasher. That's different.
Yeah. But, like, the point of it is where, like, it is... As far as, like, downloading and installing mods and doing that kind of stuff.
I was doing it, because I didn't just do Project
M.
I did everything. Yeah. I had Project Minus, Project Infinite.
I never got Project Minus working.
Brawl Minus might be the most fun I've ever had playing a Smash game. Just because it's absurd.
Yeah.
But the new Project Plus is really good. I have that working on my PC at my house. Project Infinite was so stupid. It was like 180 characters, and half of them just didn't work. but they were like didn't work as in they were so insanely like Zero you couldn't hit. Zero from Mega Man, just literally you couldn't touch him. He had invincibility frames on all of his specials, and they would just hit the entire screen. Sephiroth would bring down me. It's so crazy that Sephiroth was in Project Infinite, and I was playing as him, and I'm like, this guy will never be in Smash Brothers, and then he ended up actually being in Smash Brothers. I'm like, oh, so that's how you do that and make it work correctly. But yeah, I guess I did a little bit of modding, but that was just I was a Smasher.
Yeah.
I was a doc kid. I watched the Smash Brothers documentary, one of the greatest docs I've ever seen.
But like you learned the basics on how to do it.
Yeah.
So like
extracting stuff and doing all that, and
because like I do that kind of
and
stuff.
I was doing fan games too. I guess Pokemon. I did a bunch of fan games where like you would download it and then have to apply a patch to it. I could do all that. I guess I was a little bit. I just never gave myself that much credit.
That's just all internet game stuff.
I think it's because I was around a bunch of kids that were like jailbreaking their 3DSs and their Wiis and stuff like that. And to be fair, it was cool as shit. They jailbreak my shit. I was like, damn, that's cool as hell.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can.